times, finally working. I tried 3 times to make this work on my computer because I really wanted this to work on my computer. And the reason I wanted it to work on my computer was several reasons. It had every intention this evening of not having the comments turned on my video. And the reason I don't want to have comments turned on is because, first of all, comments are very distracting. Now there's no one here, so I'm not sure. I actually messaged quite a few of you because the notifications are another thing that don't seem to be working. So let me know when someone is here. Okay. I'm having a hard time balancing my phone as well. This really wants to fall over. Hello and happy Friday night. Okay, when someone shows up, then I will assume that this is working. My first try, I had no camera on my computer. Yeah, I have no idea. And the moment I hit cancel on the video, then the camera came on, I saw my face, and then I was gone. So you guys cannot let me know if you are here, and you cannot let me know if the comments are working, because my intention was to disable the comments. Sorry, this is taking so many tries. Okay, somebody's here. This video is going to be about knowing when to say no, about pulling your power back into self and the Lightworkers complex that I am both seeing externally and experiencing myself firsthand. So, hello and welcome back. Time number 4 is the magical time. I'm hoping, at least. So I'm sorry, guys, that the comments are turned off. Hopefully people will get here very fast. I've said this a lot, but I get messaged during my videos and after my videos every time I make one on my phone, which is why I was really hoping to make this happen on my computer, but that is just not happening this evening. Okay. The reason why I have the comments turned off are because, one, they are distracting, especially when people are name calling and doing that sort of thing. Another instance where we should be observing the chaos, but not absorbing it. Okay, so what happens on YouTube, because I do not yet have 1,000 subscriptions to my channel, feel free to help me with that, share this video, however we can make that happen. So because I do not have 1,000 subscriptions to my channel, I don't statistically on YouTube legally have the right to go live, public. So what happens is within a few minutes, the algorithm on YouTube catches somebody with less than 1,000 subscriptions going live publicly, and it changes it to private. For whatever reason, when I'm actually able to use my computer to make a video, that does not happen. However, the last couple of times I've made videos, I have not been able to make it happen on my computer, and so I'm reduced to using the phone. So, hello and happy Friday night to those of you that are here. Last time, that is exactly what happened to my video. So in short, if you have less than 1,000 subscriptions to your channel, they don't allow you to have the right to go live in a public forum on the YouTube platform. So what happens is, if you're not in here within the first couple of minutes, when YouTube discovers that I'm going live on their platform in a public manner without having the amount of subscriptions to do so, it kicks me back over to private. So that's why when you're watching, if you're not subscribed, you're probably going to get kicked out. If you come in late, also, you're going to get kicked out. Let's not make this whole video about you getting kicked out and my technology problems, because it would be a 4-hour video. Okay. Hello and happy Friday. Also, you will get a notification of this video, but if you're a latecomer or you get a notification, it'll tell you there is no video or that the video is processing, because it'll take 24 to 48 hours to finish processing when I do it on my phone. So hello and welcome to Tina's Technical Problems. Okay, moving on. Thank God, right? Thank you for the outreach of support and the people that have booked readings and donated to my channel recently. Very much appreciated. Last time, before it changed from public to private, I had the highest amount of people ever, 33, seems to be my number lately, watching this video. And the video I made 4 days ago has the highest viewer count of any video I've ever made. So thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. The comments will be on once the video is over and done processing, okay? But with the amount of chaos and distractions I've had lately, I just really want to concentrate on what it is that needs and wants to come through here, without having to worry about blocking people or reporting people like last time in the middle of my video. So those of you that were watching the last video I made, I was telling you that I was not home and that I had not been home in 2 days, and I was seeking peace and quiet and respite at a friend's house not far from here. Very interestingly enough, I also told you in that last video, I was having a little bit of a problem speaking clearly because I had taken 2 doses of children's Benadryl, because for some reason, no matter what, for 3 nights in a row, I was woken up at 3 a.m. So let's talk about that for a second. I did apologize for my fumbling and stumbling over words in that last video due to the children's Tylenol that I thought if I took at 7:30, maybe I could be asleep before 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, because that seems to be a real ongoing issue. The energy is very strong, and it also lends itself and to that being wired and awake and not being able to sleep. Hopefully you guys are not getting kicked out, because the numbers are really, really going up and down like last time. Okay, now enough of that. And let's talk about why we're really here. So that last video, I had taken the double dose of children's Tylenol, and I was getting a kick out of, and some of you were too, the way that that was affecting me verbally and with my speech. However, I still had a hard time getting to sleep, and I still was not home. I was at a friend's house, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard the most incredibly loud noise. It sounded like some sort of 18-wheeler hit the house that I was in. I don't know why I'm having a problem speaking here. Excuse me. So at 3 o'clock in the morning at my friend's house, and I apologize, guys, the comments are turned off. When the video processes and it comes back up, you can comment then. I do appreciate your love and support, but some people are not loving and supporting, therefore they are turned off for this moment. Hopefully the next video, they'll be back on. At 3 o'clock in the morning, after I made that last video, what sounded like a semi-truck hitting the house where I was staying at. And I thought, for the love of God, this is so crazy. So not to be too personal, but I want to explain something to you. So the lady that I was staying with, the bathroom is down 2 flights of steps, and she knows that I'm constantly drinking water. So she said, let me go get you the camping toilet and bring that into your room, right? So I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I wake up and I sit down on the camping toilet and I close my eyes and I say, wow, thank you for the total peace and quiet. And just as those words were uttered out my mouth comes the loudest crash I've ever heard. So the person that I was staying with was freaking out because she thought that I tripped over the toilet and I fell down, as if I could make that kind of ruckus. I looked out the window, and right out the bedroom window where I was sleeping, a car came up, hit a car, hit another car, hit the curb, hit the parking meter on a very busy street, and then hit another car into the car. So we're watching out the window at this point, and my friend had called the cops to alert them to what was going on. While she was on the phone to PD, the guy that was the passenger got out and started getting his personal belongings, his baby's car seat and diapers and other things. The person that was driving and the other person in the back seat got out of the car, a getaway car, bright orange. Who in their right mind has a getaway car that's neon orange? So this neon orange car pulls up, and we call the police back to let them know that there was a getaway car that picked up 2 of the people. So by the time the police got there, they were pretty irate. One, that everyone fled the scene. The driver and the backseat passenger both fled the scene and left one guy. Now, was he sober, the fall guy? This was some kind of initiation. I have no clue. Wow, now my lights are flickering in my living room. Anyway, the point was, I had just sat down on the camping toilet and said, thank you for the peace and quiet when this 4-car wreck came. And that noise ensued from 3 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's how long it took them to interview the guy, look for the people that had gotten away in the getaway car, and tow every car that this guy had managed to hit. So it's crazy. And I thought, what the heck is going on? It's like anything to keep me from sleeping. And I'm watching out the window from the 3rd-story balcony, and I thought, though it may be loud and though it may be brought to my consciousness and my awareness that this is happening, that this kind of behavior exists and this chaotic reality exists, I am not participating in it. I was not involved in what was happening in any respect, right? So chaotic, loud, and once again, disturbing my sleep as well. However, I was observing the chaos. We should be observing the chaos from a higher perspective. So observing the chaos, not absorbing it. That is the Lightworkers complex that we seem to be having at the moment. Okay. There's quite a few of you here now, so I want to really get into this. But I will also tell you, the next morning I heard repeated hammering after being 2 days away from home. I finally came home and there was hammering that was so incredibly loud that I had to look out the window. And once again, something loud and chaotic that I was observing but not part of was happening right outside my bedroom window. So whether I'm here or at a friend's house, I seem to be observing chaos. Now, I have had some less than fun, higher frequencies hanging out in my field, trying to get my attention later. So what I want you to know, as a light worker, as a star seed, no matter how you describe yourself, how you see yourself, what label you put on yourself as a description of self, there is an incredible energy of piggyback riding on other people's energy right now. So energetic attachment to light workers and healers, grid workers, all of it. you are anchoring in a higher light and a higher frequency. And because of that, there are people, there are energies that are piggybacking on your energy. So attaching to your energy, right? Because you have a healing voice or a healing gift, or maybe you're a Reiki master, intuitive reader, whatever you are, this energy out there of people, and also energies of energy frequencies that are not in the human form, and also energies that are in a human form, are piggyback riding on our energy, or energetically attaching to light workers, to healers, to grid workers, all of us. Okay. And this is what I want you to know. So the important thing then for us becomes knowing when to say no. Okay. And I've experienced this many times, and I am suspecting that right now many of you are also experiencing this, whether it's your partner may not understand you, but they're still piggybacking off of your energy. People on social media are also attaching to and piggybacking off of your energy. So they may be there for an energetic reason or an energetic connection, and not necessarily to listen to what you're saying, to read what you're blogging about, or to be involved in it any other way, just to be there as someone who is connecting and attaching energetically to your auric field. Okay, so piggyback riding on other people's energy attachments coming in for light workers. We must know when to say no, and this is why. You may not be interacting with someone, you may have left a job, you may have split from a romantic partnership, you may have even said no to some of your friends, longtime friends, and family members. That's something that's coming up very, very strongly right now, is saying no and pulling your energy back. Okay, but it's critical at this time because we are anchoring New Earth in a very strong technicolor, high velocity, high frequency capacity. Okay, we are anchoring in the light, universally, multiversally, and omniversally. That is a mouthful, guys. So we absolutely have to say no, and this is what I want you to know. We do know with our partners, with our friends, with our families, with our coworkers, when someone is attaching and connecting to our energy, okay, and not using that in a healthy, connected way, but in a way where they're siphoning energy. It's critical to know when, for you and I and the group of us on this first wave of consciousness, it's important, it's imperative that we know when to say no. And this is why I want to try to explain this the best way that I saw it. Okay, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Podbean, all social media platforms have an energetic, searching for the best word. There is an energetic presence of the combined unified field within social media. Okay, so you know that you don't like something, don't want something, don't resonate with something, don't think something is garbage. Hopefully you're not reading it or connecting with it or watching it. You're scrolling on by and not connecting with that. The importance of knowing when to say no comes in because right now, Facebook, let's use Facebook for an example. Facebook has a collective consciousness, okay? So even if you are scrolling by something from friends or family or coworkers that you don't appreciate or you don't vibe with, having them be connected to your social media, in other words, keeping them there as opposed to unfriending them or blocking them or whatever, means they're still connected to your energy field. Now, what's been happening for a whole lot of you is that maybe you stopped talking to someone, or you separated from a relationship, or you separated from a job or family members or whatever, but you haven't disconnected from that social media network. All of these, as I was shown it, social media networks have a ball of collective consciousness, let's say. Okay. So even if I'm not resonating with someone's post and I just decide, you know what, I'm going to leave that person there in my field, because maybe interacting with me, with a group of people that are connected to my posting in some way, will assist that person. And we are correct in saying so. Okay, so our energy, our vibration, our frequency, the sound of our voice, our blog, our videos, whatever it is, may be helping people very dramatically. But if they themselves are connected in sort of an attachment sort of way to you, or to some other issue that they keep interacting with, whether that is posting pornography or just being really negative in general, by not blocking or unfriending that person, you are still very much allowing them to attach, feed off of your healer, grid worker, light worker frequency. Okay, so these people are piggyback riding on your energy and on the energy of the first wave. Okay, we are all antennas to different frequencies, different waves of information, consciousness, and wisdom. And if that person is putting out and giving back a reciprocal energy, that's very important to not cut that off. But I know that many people are experiencing a situation where, like I said, they've either walked away or ended the working relationship or ended the romantic partnership, or even ended the friendship at a capacity, but they are allowing their feed to be connected to someone else's feed through social media. So even if you feel like in some capacity you're cutting off that frequency from the other person, you are. But again, as I was shown it, Facebook, all these social media platforms have a ball or a sphere of frequency that we are connecting to, even if we are not connecting to them. Okay, and this is why I have blocked and or unfriended some people in the past few weeks. Okay, I even had readings with people about being connected to a certain energy. So when you pay me and when you come to me to tell me what your block is, or delay, or challenge, or why it is that the energy of what you feel is not coming into physical manifestation, and I say to you, you are connecting to certain things that are not on the frequency of your path that you're telling me you desire. Okay, and even in sharing that and having that person say, oh wow, I totally get why I'm resonating with the future of something, but allowing or continuing or feeding into something that's not the highest version of me, and that's connecting a sort of connecting and pulling in an energy that they don't necessarily want. Okay, and whether you're conscious of that or unconscious of that, I am not allowing myself to absorb the chaos of other people. So a big part of this is knowing the chaos is out there. We certainly know that the world is in a very chaotic space on one end of the spectrum, and a very loving, forward, frequency minded, new earth version of reality on the other. But I think it's important for us to say no when to say no. So what I've been experiencing for a while, and I know many of you are experiencing, is, okay, so you're not energetically vibing with certain things, and so you're not allowing or inviting yourself to connect with that anymore. Okay, and then someone may reach out to you and say they need help or assistance with something. They need an energetic boost with something. They may be reaching out to tell you, hey, I don't really like what you're doing. I don't really like what you're saying. But for you, it's none of anybody else's business. If you don't like what someone is doing or saying, you disconnect from it. Okay. Or we will disconnect from you. We absolutely, it's critical right now that we know when to say no. Okay. So then some of us are then in this position of saying to other people, well, what don't you like? Or how can I help you? Or explaining that we're just trying to be transparent and clear and articulate what it is that we feel in the energy, past, future, and present. Time is nothing but a circle anyway. So what we are doing is so incredibly important. Okay. And I know that many of you feel like if you are on a higher frequency or if you have a larger awareness that you need to explain yourself to other people, the person that's not resonating with your video or, wanting to argue with you or just suck off your energy, because a lot of times people are messaging you and conversating with you just to get a piece of your energy, not what you say. And you will recognize that because you will have helped so many people as light workers, as grid workers, as Reiki masters, as healers. And that person, there are people that you, whether you help them through financial means or you extend yourself, sometimes, free of charge in whatever way it is that you do that, you will notice that this person has a problem. They come to you, you assist them, you give them the best guidance that you can possibly give them with your current wisdom and knowledge. And that person will be back 3 days later or 5 days later or 3 weeks or 3 months later in the exact same predicament. That is why it is so important for us now, while we're anchoring in new earth in every capacity, to not give someone crutches or keep pushing someone around that's in a wheelchair. Okay. It is very different. And I know a lot of us do a lot of work for free, and someone may come to you and be very benefited from what you are giving to that person, to the collective consciousness as a whole, for free. And you will know that because that person will not keep returning 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months with the same problem, with the same exact conundrum. So what I'm saying to you is, if social media platforms all have their own frequency, they all have their own collective consciousness, and someone is constantly giving you a hard time or constantly posting things, pornographic things, or things that you have learned and bypassed already, and you think that just by not interacting with them, you're going to cut that cord, that stream of consciousness, that lively energy that you're feeding that person. It's so important to say no, because as long as they have access to reading your blog, watching your videos, whatever, they have access to you. And this is why people read people's blogs, right? Or watch people's workout videos or listen to people's, readings on YouTube, whatever it is, okay? Because we want to give assistance and we are here for that. But I'm talking about a bandwidth that you no longer are on, that you no longer jive with. You have to disconnect from those people. Okay, and a lot of information came through in the last video about the split, physical reality versus energetic reality, the things that we have heard and seen and felt, the beautiful things of new earth, new relationships, new jobs, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking outside the box, all of this. What I'm telling you now is, energetically, there is such a push of assistance for everyone out there doing this work, no matter what capacity you're doing it. Okay. And by allowing these people to be connected to you, because you think even without talking to them, you can assist them. Okay. But one of the things that came through with the show with Dawn, and hopefully, I know some of you listened to that, hopefully Dawn can walk me through getting that set up, because a lot of information came through about this very topic. Okay, and there is a lot of interference energy happening for the light workers on the first conscious stream of activation on the front lines of ascension right now. Okay, and we all, I think, have a pretty good understanding that that is happening. But from a higher perspective, to those who feel like it's not fair, and energetically, I understand that, I feel the same way. It's not fair for those people to be siphoning off of your energy. But from the larger perspective, they are doing that to all of us to show us that we can't help every person in every situation. So if you're giving and energy and not getting it back, and you continue to help someone with something, and then they keep coming back for that same exact help, you have to stop giving them crutches. You have to stop pushing them around in the wheelchair. And we have to say no, because this incredible energy is here and it's very amped up right now. And it is giving us a real energetic push on our path forward. That is to be the anchors of New Earth. We have to make sure that without those crutches, without those wheelchairs, without pushing those wheelchairs around for people who don't want to help themselves or can't see the way to do it, or can't see the way out of their conundrum with repeated help, we have to lighten the load of our energetic frequency and that which we are connecting to in social media, so that we can anchor in this higher frequency of New Earth, which shifts everything in reality, in our universe, in our multiverse, and in our omniverse, so that we can anchor this timeline and ground into physical reality those beautiful things that we have seen and felt and heard and experienced in the fifth dimension for the last several years. And I know I was in this place, and I know so many of you are in this place, whether you are doing it through a social media platform or maybe an outreach in your neighborhood, or you're just doing it because you're the anchor and the grounding unit for your family. But the energy we have to move forward, anchoring in and grounding New Earth energy, it is imperative to say no, to lighten the load, and to cut those cords with people on social media that are adding weight to you. Because being an incredible anchor for this amazing energy on the first wave, the first stream of consciousness, means you need to be as light as possible when it comes to energetically what you are doing and what you are connecting with. Okay, so what I was shown is these fields of consciousness that on social media, this is going to sound maybe a little bizarre, but all these different spheres for Rumble, for Facebook, for YouTube, all of these spheres of collective consciousness are all connected to each other through a cosmic grid, okay, through an energetic or etheric grid, and they directly connect to the Akashic record. So the Akashic record is the storage bin, if you will, okay? That is a connection to everything that has ever been invented, every new thought form, everything that's ever existed. That is the Akashic record, is the living library. And part of that is stored in the core, or in the center, the crystalline center of Earth. Social media, I know it sounds crazy, but social media platforms are etherically and energetically connected to the Akashic record of everything that ever was, everything that is, and everything that will be. So this huge energetic push for us to anchor in New Earth energy in every capacity, to start this new path, to anchor in that new light, that new energy, so that we can give it back tenfold or 1,000-fold, depending on where you are. We must lighten the load to effectively do that, because these social media platforms all have their own sphere of consciousness. Each of those spheres of consciousness is connected to the next social media platform. And those social media platforms are connected to the living library of Earth for everything that ever was, everything that is, and everything that will be. Okay? It's like if you're walking uphill in the snow, you don't want to be carrying gear, right? If you're a climber, if you're someone who does a lot of hiking and a lot of camping, you know that they specifically make 4-ounce chairs and 8-ounce sleeping bags and freeze-dried food, okay? But this ascension process, this anchoring of this amazing energy within the body to change your life and change the planet and change our sector of the universe means we have to look at this like we're going on an amazing uphill mountainous adventure on the ascension path, okay? And we are leading the way. We are the way showers, the light workers. We have to be able to anchor this energy in to planet Earth. And that means the ascension path is like us winding up this beautiful mountain, okay? And we want that 4-ounce chair right now, okay? And we want that 8-ounce sleeping bag, and we want that freeze-dried food, okay? I'm just making a symbolic analogy here. The faster you go up the mountain of ascension and anchoring in the light to change your life, to change your path, to change the world, to change the universe, the multiverse, and the omniverse through our connectedness means it's time to look at this like we are physically on a hiking trip that involves camping, okay? Up a treacherous and sometimes chaotic landscape, which we should be observing and not absorbing. And that's why it's so incredibly important for us to pack the lightest that we can for this hiking trip, okay, for this uphill mountain, okay? That is your symbology that I'm saying. And we are connected to people and even some social media platforms that are heavy, and the field of consciousness is dense. It's time for you to fly free and be sovereign of that. And I know it's really hard, you guys, to cut people off or not correspond or block people or whatever, but it's really, really important. The next thing I want to say is that, and I've said this a lot, but I'm still seeing and hearing the need to repeat this. You and I, and all of humanity connected to Source, is the most advanced technology on this planet. And you may have days where you feel lethargic or starving or not hungry or disconnected or lonely or tearful or hot and sweaty, as we discussed in the last video, okay? But you and I, humanity connected to Source, is the most advanced technology on this planet, okay? Or anywhere in this universe, okay? So instruments designed to collect data on solar radiation coming from the sun, on energy entering our ionosphere and then our atmosphere and absorbing into Earth and into the human body, you are going to detect it before their instruments. Now, the instrument for the Schumann resonance, I believe, is 200 years old, if not close to that. I know it's at least 150 years old. Okay, so I'm not saying that at one time this wasn't great technology, that at one time this wasn't advanced technology. What I'm saying is the energy has surpassed the technology. So let's say something comes in at 160 hertz. Is it going to, and I'm not like saying this is an exact scenario, but to give you an example, something rushes into our ionosphere at 160 hertz. Well, is it going to register on a piece of equipment that's only designed to go up to 130? Or is it going to bounce around and make a static whiteout on the resonance board? Okay, so we have that happening. We have energies that are higher frequencies than the equipment was designed for. And I know when you guys feel this crazy stuff, or you wake up sweating, or you're having visions that you're wanting to go out and find confirmation, talking to other people is glorious. We wouldn't have made it this far without communing with other people, okay? But you are such an advanced technology, okay? Us as angels, as light forms in a human body are the most advanced technology in this universe. So you're going to be feeling, hearing, experiencing things that are not going to register at all, that are going to register with you, some of you 6 weeks before they happen, even. Okay. Sometimes 6 months if it's really big, it depending what that solar vortex is bringing in with it. If it's bringing in some sort of like a relationship code, for example, or a brand new pathway in your mission, that is something you may experience 6 months before that solar vortex pulls in the energy that makes that thing physical. And I want you to know this because you may look for some sort of outside confirmation. Okay. And you may just many times, the more this solar vortex amps up, the less we are going to be able to connect and discern and make some sort of confirmation that the frequency that you are experiencing in the 5th dimension or higher actually exists in the 3rd dimension, because you are a technology that is advanced. So while these Schumann resonant frequencies are being measured, and there's all kind of technical tools for science and quantum physics, you are going to feel it first, and you are going to feel it stronger. And you're also probably going to get the download of this pertains to a relationship, or this pertains to personal sovereignty, or this pertains to some whatever the frequency is, okay, because they are different. But please remember, you and I, we, everybody on planet, no matter what frequency wave of consciousness you're connected to, we are the most advanced technology. Okay, we are a clear channel to measure the energy that's coming into this channel. Okay, so you are an antenna, you are a clear channel for upcoming energy. That means if something left the sun last night, you felt it. If it was really, really important or significant to your career, to your mission, to your changing dynamics and partnership, you may have had a heads up 4 months ago, okay? Or 2 years ago, like in my case, which really can drive me freaking batty sometimes. I'm here to tell you, because I'm like, wow, I guess this thing, unicorns really don't exist. Okay. They do, the unicorns just not here yet. Okay. That's what I want to say. You are not going to be able to confirm everything that you feel, because even though their technology was grand 150 years ago or 200 years ago, when it was at its inception point, you have surpass that energy, and you have surpassed within your DNA the upgrades and the repairs that it's going to allow you to connect to things that you're not going to be able to confirm. Okay, you're going to feel amazing things, you're going to experience amazing things that you're not going to be able to confirm. And it's just something that we have to get used to. Okay, because unicorns really do exist. Okay, we are anchoring in new earth in every capacity. Don't forget that on your shit days, okay? On your days when you're crying or sweating or eating everything that's not nailed down, or you can't seem to sleep no matter what you do, like me, right? You have something bigger to do. You have something brighter to do. That's why they call you a light worker, okay? So light worker means that you go through your dark night of the soul, or your, in our case, multiple dark nights of the soul, okay? That dark night of the soul, that quiet time, is so you can assimilate to the new path, okay? So we don't avoid darkness, okay? We go into the depths of that so that we can come out the other end and say, wow, this is what I learned from viewing myself, from observing my situations, from observing the situations of those people around me that I'm connected to. And please remember, this ascension may not always feel like an uphill climbing expedition, a backpacking expedition into the high mountains where you need to weigh as little as possible. Okay, so you're connected to social media and all these platforms. Being connected to the Akashic record means while we're carrying all this weight, that does affect what we're capable of. Okay, And on the first wave of consciousness, if we are adding extra weight that we don't need, that's slowing us down, that's stopping the climb up that beautiful mountain of ascension, that means not only will this slowness affect you, okay, it's affecting your ability to anchor in and new earth energy in every capacity you are anchoring. Okay, so we need the lightest. Okay, and everybody has bad days, everybody has times of crying or needing help or not understanding. Okay, sometimes we are in fear, sometimes we have anger. Okay, and there's a big group of people out there that says, but if you're doing what you should be doing, you'll never be angry. Well, that is not true. There are still people and places and situations and world events that we do not agree with. We are not going to stop ourselves from being angry. We are not going to stop ourselves from having a bad day. And that doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. All your own soul is asking you to do when you're feeling that heaviness, whether you're transmuting and coming out the light tunnel from a dark night of the soul, or just trying to lighten your load, you have to understand that it's not avoiding anger. It's not avoiding disillusionment. It's not avoiding the breakups and all of that that gives you the higher frequency. It's saying, it's going into the anger and saying, why am I angry? What is there to learn from this? Why am I triggered? Okay. Because if we avoid anger, if we avoid triggers, if we avoid all of those dark energies, then we don't know what it is that's holding us back and holding us down and weighing us down on this camping trip up the mountain of ascension. Okay, so very important. We are anchoring in new earth energy in every capacity. You have something bigger to do. You have something greater to do. Okay, so it's time that we ditch that weight. Okay. I'm not saying someone that comes to you for the very first time that you shouldn't help that person, that you shouldn't help anyone. But I think we all know that on social media platforms, there are people that connect just to connect to the healingness, whether that's the sound of your voice, your articulation in a blog, or your ability to make a video and describe what is happening in the energy and how it's affecting people around us. You have something bigger to do. You have something greater to do. And right now that involves lessening the weight and cutting the cord to people who repeatedly take that energy from you, whether that's work, your family, people on social media, or your direct romantic partnerships. Okay. What you came to do is amazing. It's big. It's beautiful. And it is a heartbeat away. So loosen that load and cut that stream. Okay. We have to use this higher stream of consciousness to maneuver around through the 3D. And what all of us are doing right now as this beautiful anchor is our energy body, our etheric body, our human antenna is reaching out to the omniverse and picking up the energy of new earth and all the assistance that lies out there for us and our connectedness to that which resides in the universe, in the omniverse, and in the multiverse. Okay, all of it. You are a light being in a physical body with an incredible antenna that's reaching all the way out to the omniverse and anchoring in the new capacity to love. You are anchoring in the new capacity to light this planet and light this grid. Okay. That's why it's so important for us to clear our energy field right now. Okay. There are people, places, situations, relationships, jobs, family members, all of it, where we have given an incredible amount of time and patience and love and energy. No one to hold up, no one to walk away, no one to run. Was that Willie Nelson? I think so. Okay. So you're using the higher omniversal frequency. You're pulling that in with your antenna. You're anchoring it into earth, and you're using that energy to climb this mountain of ascension, to make the change in your life on your path and your relationships and everything you do. We've got to lighten this load of those that are here to piggyback ride on the energy of others. Okay? Piggyback riding on the energy of light workers and healers and all of that. Because what you're going to find, my beautiful friends, is there is an amazing energy out there that's coming to you in a very physical way that you have felt for a long time. Okay? I've been doing a lot of free readings, tarot and intuitive oracle stuff on Facebook, and it was amazing, you guys, because 11 times today, the Two of Cups energy comes up 11 times. That's I'm connected to you in a frequency. Okay. We're on the same bandwidth of understanding. I can hear you. I can feel your heart. My connection to you is healing. Your connection to me is healing. It's very reciprocal. Those are the things we want to connect with. Okay. That Two of Cups energy came out 11 times. And I think I only read for maybe 12 or 13 people. So this energy is coming for you, okay? But in the meantime, we do not entertain people, places, and things that are not that medicinal connection. That is that Two of Cups. That is a frequency, that is a match, even though you aren't a match. Like I said earlier, because it just kept coming up on Facebook. That video will be up for 30 days. If anybody wants to watch that, they're always collective. That's why people get the same cards over and over again. But that card, the Two of Cups, the loving, medicinal energy that is reciprocal between two people. They made a point in the oldest deck available that I know of, the Rider-Waite Tarot, to make that Two of Cups, the male and female, the same exact height. And that rarely happens, right, in a romantic partnership. But the reason they did it was because the point of it was in making two people at the same height was I see eye to eye with you. I may have the total opposite gifts, but when we see eye to eye, when we can communicate from a heart space, we feel safe, we feel cherished, we feel nourished. Okay, and that is the only card out of 78 cards that has a caduceus, was Western medicine stole, which is the snake, right, that wraps around. Okay, that is the energy of snake healing, or just the frequency. So the snake healing was really about the fact that, and like in symbology, the snake was the thing that crawled across the ground. So picking up all that earthly energy and being able to heal thyself through connections and relationships. And I wanted to mention that because when you lighten the load of the people that are piggybacking on your energy, your healing, the sound of your voice, whatever it is you're doing for them, okay, something is coming in for you that is very, very beautiful. Okay, it's about being connected to your legacy. It's about being connected to the reason that you came here. Okay, so please remember that these social media platforms, every place like this where you give and receive energy, even if you're not personally giving that person a reading or doing Reiki on that person, if they have a connection to you, an energetic or an etheric connection through these social media platforms, that is weight that you don't need. Okay, and I'm not talking about cutting someone off for having a bad day or calling you crying. I think you guys know exactly what I mean. There are people that continually come back for your energy, for your frequency, for your vibration, who will ask you the same question over and over again until you think that you're crazy or just really bad at helping people. Okay, and that is not the case. Okay, there's a lot of bleeding through of energy that says, I know you. You make my heart sing. You're beautiful. You're incredible. All of that. There's also a lot of returning kind of soulmate energy. Okay. And soulmate can come through in an animal, can come through in family members. A lot of our family members are coming through with soulmate energy. We chose that at the end of this 26,000 year cycle to heal things, to mend things. Okay. But in saying that, in the meantime, while we're waiting for that connection where we have opposite gifts, but we're completely simpatico. Okay. And you know it, and I know it, and we can feel it in the heart space. And in the interim of that not being in physical reality, we shouldn't come to entertain things. Okay. These, sometimes, well, not sometimes. For some of you right now, karmic things are re-entering the situation. A lot of soulmates are returning, and again, you know, it could be animals through family, whatever. Doesn't have to be romantic. A lot of times that can be platonic. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. I have a temporary roommate right now. Okay, and this is somebody that I dated 26 years ago. Okay, his mom was my best friend from the time I dated him. We broke up. Him and I stopped speaking for many, many, many years, but always kept in contact because she was like this most beautiful soul mother I ever had. Okay, she died in November while I was in Florida. I talked about that before. That was really, really hard to lose her. Okay. For me, and I'm certainly sure it was even harder for Josh, my ex-boyfriend from 26 years ago. Okay. He wanted to come back for many reasons. Okay. He wanted to come back. He is a great person. We really get along. We have a lot in common. We've been walking buddies and music buddies, and the poi bong ball bunnies that I've been talking about in the video. We do the poi bong together. Okay. But I am not giving that situation doesn't have a romantic, heartfelt, two of cups. We are simpatico. I feel you in my heart space connection. Okay. So he's just a roommate, temporary roommate who's sleeping on the couch. There are things that we both understand that have to be worked out here. I think there are things for both of us that are even beyond our understanding. Okay. But what I'm saying is, in that situation, if you're someone that's lonely or hasn't dated in a really long time, right? A lot of people might be tempted in that kind of situation. I'm not. Because once you open up and share your heart with someone else that is your perfect complement, nothing else will do. Okay. I forced him and his best friend, who I think is his girlfriend, they've been dating on and off for a million years. I forced them both to subscribe to my channel. I said, you don't have to watch my videos, but I would appreciate your energetic support. Okay. So he is here. Okay. We are friends. We have a, like a soulmate connection that we've always had for the 26 years that I've known him. Okay. But that is not a frequency in my heart space that is romantic. Okay. So right now, we're both hurting from the loss of my best friend Patty and his mother Patty, and so we're assisting a lot each other in a lot of different ways. He wanted to come back here, and I live like 4 blocks from where they lived, where his mom lived for 28 years. Spent so many hours there. Okay, but in the meantime, there's all these beautiful things that we've felt and we've seen. Okay, so I'm not interested in anything, even a soulmate connection that is not. Once you have heart meld in one body of 2 people, and you will not take anything else in the meantime, whether you've been single for 2 years or a decade. You will wait for that. And I am waiting for that. And you know what was very interesting? I went to buy water and I never look at the expiration date of water. In fact, I don't ever usually look at the expiration date on anything. But the expiration date on water has always been really small. Well, today I'm totally incredibly, trying not to be in a hurry, but I had a lot of stuff to do before I made this video. So I buy 6 jugs of water and I come home and have been feeling him that 2 of cups heart meld connection so strongly for the last couple of days. I get home to put those 6 gallons of water away, and they've made the expiration date so big now that you don't have to look for it. It's 10 times bigger than it was last week, because I buy 7 gallons of water every single week. So not only is the expiration date become 10 times larger than it was, all 6 gallons of water that I bought today were dated October 5th, which is his birthday. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. Okay. In order to be connected with our path, with our mission, with our perfect complementary simpatico compadre, we must cut loose anything that's baggage that's stopping us from going up the hill of ascension in the time frame that we were meant to be. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry for my technical difficulties. This is the 4th time I've made this video, and now I do realize that this is going to probably take all night and halfway into tomorrow to process. I'm going to try to pull it up on my computer and figure out if I can channel my tech savvy other half and figure out how to fix this tonight. Hopefully that'll happen. Wow, 18 is an incredible synchronicity for me. So if you're looking for personal dowsing, if you are looking for personal tarot oracle assistance, I am going to, as soon as I get off here, I'm going to put my information so that you don't have to go back and forth. Okay. I'm going to put the reading information in the description box of this video as soon as I can pull it up and get it switched back over to public and get all those crazy little things that are always so annoying fixed. Okay. So thank you for your patience, and thank you for coming back here, time number 4. And just remember, there is incredible chaos going on in the world, and sometimes even very close to home and in our personal lives. If it's not directly connected to you and there's nothing you can do to shift it or to change it, observe the chaos, not absorbing. No light workers, starseeds, empaths, absorbing everything that's around you. Cut it loose. Let the energy that is weighing you down, that is slowing your path down, let it go, cut it off, and disconnect it. And please, please, please remember that you do not owe anybody an explanation or an apology for why you cut them off or why you blocked them or why you unfriended them. Okay? And you know what I mean. If you're to that point of that, then people have had multiple chances, okay, to turn things around or be different. And if they haven't, it's time to cut it loose, okay? Observe the chaos. There's going to be plenty of it. So lighten the load, cut the weight off of you, and observe, not absorb. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all, and your support has been tremendous. I appreciate it. Please share, please like, and please do come back and put your beautiful comments up. I'm sorry that I had to cut your comments off. I simply couldn't be distracted by some of the weight on social media, okay? That's very energetically draining. I had to do that. And hopefully in the next video or so, I will put the comments up, because most of you are nothing but energetic cheerleaders for me. And I love you, and I so appreciate that. Okay. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.